To a brand new episode for our Pitfall Podcast. I'm Brandon Freno, joined by me and my co-host. We got Nana Beto in the house. We got Anshul from 49 Media. We got my boy Christian Dyer. And we got the one and only Nana Gang Podcast, Dion Johnson.
I'm excited for this game, but also very nervous about this game.
I feel it, man.
Agreed.
What's up, everyone in the chat? Welcome.
Going on, chat. We got a special guest, Perry, coming on later on, and we got another one, Zangarian, who'll be joining us shortly. But let's get right into it, guys. We're 4 days away to the big game. What's your expectations, and what do the Niners have to do to start off hot? Dion, let's go with you first.
Well, my expectations for the game is for us to have 6 fucking Super Bowls at the end of the day. I expect them. I hope that Kyle gets back to what he knows best. I don't want him to send Brock out there all 50 fucking times. I want him to stick to what he knows. Run the ball to set up the pass, play action, bootlegs, play to the strengths of the offense. Don't play to the weaknesses. And just be smart about it. I expect Brock Purdy to go out there and do what he does. No reason for anyone to, think that he's not going to do otherwise. One thing I do have to say is thank you so much to Cam Newton, and thank you so much to the faithful, because we have definitely had a lot of people come in and tell us that, go right at Cam. And that's beautiful. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Cam is always going to be the crybaby. He's always going to continue to complain. He's always going to say he locks Bright Purdy. Whatever that is. At the end of the day, I expect us to go in, punch these motherfuckers in the mouth, and land that knockout blow so we can celebrate. Finally get this 6th Lombardi, and I look forward to us doing it again next year, damn it. Let's go. Kick it over to Christian. What do you think, bro?
I'm nervous, especially this week because it's like the week of the Super Bowl. I think I kind of didn't feel it too much last week. I had a week, but I'm really nervous. I feel like I can't get a good read on this game. I feel like that mostly comes from we haven't played our best, even though we've won the 2 games leading up to this game. We haven't played our best, so I'm like, are we going to play our best and smack the Chiefs around? Is it going to be close? Then I know it's probably stupid, but I'm still worried. Like close, the refs going to play a part in it. Taylor Swift thing, because I just don't I don't know. There's been so much stuff about the NFL. And I don't trust them. I'm like, the game's going to be skewed to a certain way if it's close. And, maybe I'm just being a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know. I'm nervous in many different ways. Like, are we going to show up? Is Kyle going to get in his own way? Are the refs going to be an issue? I'm hoping it's just a blowout, and then the refs don't have really any way to get in the way. One thing that I did kind of, I've been thinking, notice though, is when the Niners have had like more than a week to prep for a team, we've been pretty damn dominant. this year because it happens right when we play the Steelers in week 1. You have multiple weeks to prepare for that game. And then the only other game where we had more than a week to prepare for a team was Jacksonville after the bye week. And so technically in games we played 2 of our best season when we had multiple weeks to prepare. The defense played their best. Like the defense probably played their best game all year against Jacksonville, I would say. So I'd like to think that maybe the fact that we had 2 weeks to prepare, that's like that extra week really helps out the defense, helps out Wilkes with his game plan. So that makes me feel good. Like there's a chance that we could come out and be dominant. But mostly I've just been unsure of myself and nervous. I think it's just because this should be the year that we do it, and I'm nervous that if we don't, I don't know when it's going to happen. And mentally, I can't take another Super Bowl loss.
All right, Anshul, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like in kind of the same spot as Christian. I'm just nervous as hell because this will be my first Super Bowl, that I see if we do get the win. Because I haven't seen us win. This is the only team I have left that hasn't won anything in my lifetime. So I'm really hoping that we win. But yeah, I need this team to start off faster on both sides of the ball. I need the Niners to, dominate in the trenches. They need to go out there and show, like they got to take over the game from the start. Just kind of like that's what I loved with, the Green Bay game. Like for the Packers, right? They just came out and were showing we're not messing around. That's what we need to be doing, I think, in this game. And just everybody's got to do their job. So hopefully the defense, cleans up some things because we all know that they had some, missed reads and, not filling the proper gaps. So, yeah, and I'd like to see Kyle use a lot of the running backs. I just don't know if that's actually going to happen. I know we kind of talked about this last week too, a little bit when we did our last show, but I mean, it'd be nice. And hopefully Kyle's maybe saving some tricks in this game, and that's why he hasn't really been playing nobody else. So hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. For me, we got to start fast. We got to come in and start kicking ass. If we play our type of defense, our type of offense, I am not worried about the Chiefs at all. I'm not worried about the team that can't score more than 30 points, but twice this season. We just can't keep Patrick Mahomes close. You keep him close, you're asking for him to come back and kick your in the ass. So we got to put points, and we got to protect those points. Defensively, we got to make sure we tackle, we disrupt the quarterback, and just better coverage on the open field on those screens. They're going to do screens. That's one thing they like to do. We got to make sure we are on top of those screens, and hopefully somebody will get a chili pepper and stick it up Mr. Chase Young's ass and burn some fire in him, because I'm going to need him to play. No disrespect for Chase, but I just can't get a little bit from him. I need him to be disruptive right next to Bosa. We can't afford a mediocre, just a guy on the team. I need some guy with dominance. Pressure needs to come on that side if we want to get anything done. But I have a great feeling that we're going to come out, we're going to play fast, and we're going to handle business. I think the Niners were embarrassed these last 2 games in the playoffs. Even though they survived and they came back and won it, for one, they know they can do it. But I don't know if they want to put themselves in their shoes again. I think they're going to come firing on all cylinders, and I'm excited to watch.
All right. So while Brandon's driving, his Wi-Fi gonna be spotty as shit. So I'm gonna take over the MC until he gets somewhere stable. So I'm gonna kick it right back to you, Betho. Did a little something, on TikTok. If y'all not messing with me on TikTok at SwiftD1, you know what I'm saying? Trying to grow that out
Working
there.
for the Chinese, are you?
Hey, look, man, I don't give a fuck what you say. The Chinese pay. God damn it.
Hey,
So,
that they do. That they do.
At the end of the day, money is money. It's all green. I don't give a fuck how I get it. But I'm gonna kick it back to you, Beth, though. And we can go around and get everybody's thoughts. Who's the better quarterback in this situation, man? And be honest with it, because I was honest with it on my TikTok about it. I'm not gonna sit up here and fake the funk and try to put somebody on a pedestal they don't belong on. But who do you feel is the better quarterback out of Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy?
Obviously, the better quarterback all the way around is Patrick Mahomes. But if you ask me who's the better quarterback in the Super Bowl with the team surrounded around him, I'm going to say Brock Purdy. I am. I think Brock Purdy has the weapons that Mahomes is lacking in. He's lacking the top receivers. He has Kelsey and he has Pacheco, but that's about it. Who else? And the young kid Rice is stepping up, but he's not all that. You got Debo, you got Christian McCaffrey, you got Ayuk, Kittle, and the rest of the gang, and
Jennings.
a new element. You got his legs. Brock Purdy has his legs they can use to get out of some of those predicaments. So, as a quarterback in general, I'll be stupid to say that Brock is better than Mahomes. But in this game, I think it's Brock, in my opinion.
What about you, Media?
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes obviously been playing for longer, and I mean, he's been to multiple Super Bowls in the past few years, and so Mahomes, no doubt, is the better quarterback. I mean, I don't even care how he was looking in the regular season, because right now he's been looking like Patrick Mahomes still, and that's what matters right now. So I definitely think of course Purdy is great and all. I do agree with Beto. I do expect to see him use his legs a little bit more, especially if he is getting pressured and there's nobody there. Brock's good at extending the plays too. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right,
Christian?
before Christian answers, everybody, this is Darian. This is my cousin's boyfriend. This is Dion, Christian, Beto, and Anshul.
What's up, homie?
That's good.
I'm just gonna let you know right now, my guy. You entered the Lions Den. We get crazy. We talk shit. So just be prepared, man. You know what I'm saying? Just be prepared. And if you feel like you got a point, jump in and throw that motherfucker in there. All love for you to come on the show, man. We welcome you with open arms. But yeah, get a little crazy up in here, man. So we keep it 1,000 wow. We do not pull punches around here. Everybody that you see on this panel will tell you the truth. You see me and Beto. I tell you right now, that's my fucking guy. That's my dude.
Brother.
I love Beto, man. But he loves Kyle Shanahan and I don't. So you know how that works. But either way, man, Christian, talk to me about the quarterback situation here, and then we're gonna kick it over to our guest.
I mean, obviously Mahomes has a bigger body of work and has been considered, the next GOAT. I wouldn't consider him the GOAT, right? He, regardless of what he does, he had a chance to play the GOAT. I wouldn't even consider Brady the GOAT, but we'll call Brady the GOAT, right? And they're trying to compare Mahomes to the GOAT, but I'm sorry, he lost every time he played the old GOAT, right? By that time, the GOAT had the goatee and the gray hairs, and he still lost to him. So I personally have always thought Mahomes is a good quarterback. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't really hold him to the standard as much as everybody else does. I think he's been so great and his game is so good because he's great on the off script plays, right? He has the best offensive play, one of the best offensive minds to ever coach in this game, and Andy Reid. But the reason him and Andy Reid are such a pairing is because Andy Reid is an amazing play caller. But if those plays break down, Mahomes is, obviously really good at off-script plays. What I like to call the schoolyard bullshit. The way I look at Mahomes is I look at him as a more polished young Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson did all the stuff that Mahomes did in his first couple of years. That's what Russell Wilson was doing. Russell Wilson wasn't being considered the greatest. Russell doesn't have the Super Bowl to show for it. He didn't even but so, and if you go off this year, Purdy outperformed Mahomes in every single way, right? You can go off the weapons, you can go off the stuff. Nobody's going to say Purdy's better than Mahomes, but Purdy has been way better than Mahomes this whole season. Yeah, Purdy's had some bad games, but he's also been much better. I mean, to Ancho's point, he's saying Mahomes is looking like Mahomes in the playoffs. Is he really? 17 points, 68 yards passing in the second half against the Ravens and scoring 0 points? Like, he hasn't been that great. Like, played a Dolphins team that obviously, didn't come to play. They didn't want to be there in the cold. Third string Browns or Bills defense, right? They didn't really have anybody. And a Ravens team who decided to piss down their leg when they should have won the game. So, I mean, they did. I mean, you're running the ball for 8, 9, 15 yards here. Every play is a chunk play run, and they ran the ball like 9 times or something in that game or whatever it was. So, yeah, they're winning, but like they're not winning because Mahomes. They're winning because their defense is really good. Like, how often do you win a playoff game when you score 17 points? Like, and then Mahomes or Purdy, he hasn't been that great in the playoffs so far either. He's been really clutch late in games. So he's kind of the opposite of Mahomes right now. Both of these guys are the opposites of each other. Mahomes has played good to start games and get a lead, right, and play well enough to keep the lead. And Purdy's been bad to start, and then he comes up clutch and finishes strong. His second half against the Lions is better than anything Mahomes has done in the playoffs so far. But really, neither of these guys have been top level so far in the playoffs. So if you want to just go off this year, yeah, you'd say you trust Brock more because of the body of work from this season. And it's still Mahomes, but it really just this is going to come down to which Purdy do we get, which Mahomes do the Chiefs get.
Okay.
But from what I've seen is Purdy. I mean, Mahomes doesn't have the whole Brady factor where it doesn't matter who his receivers are, because Mahomes isn't elevating these other receivers on his team. He's not elevating, like, he's not throwing to scrubs and making them good and win, and like doing what Brady did with the Patriots. So like I'm not as scared of Mahomes. It's just the Niners are going to win based off of Purdy. So that's why Purdy is the better quarterback in this game, because if the Niners winning is going to ball Purdy plays.
Okay.
I don't think the Chiefs winning is going to fully depend on how well Mahomes plays, because if they win, it's going to be because their defense.
All right.
They don't, they average like 17, 18 points a game this year on offense. Niners average 30.
All right. Well, with that being said, Darian, let's get your thoughts. Who would be the better QB in this game, man? Is it Patrick Mahomes or Brock the Glock Purdy? Take yourself off mute. You flipped your camera. It's all right. It's probably his first time doing the StreamYard thing.
Do you get it? It is his first time.
Yeah, that happened.
I think I got it now. I just got to turn my camera around.
There you go. I hear you. There you go.
Get this here.
Yeah.
Camera. Sorry, guys. Hold on. think it's a weird
It's all right.
on my phone here. Your camera. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
All right. So when it comes to the comparison idea of Mahomes and Purdy, I'm gonna come in a little neutral here. This year, I definitely agree that Purdy has had the way better year, and he's been thrown into a lot of different situations compared to Mahomes. Mahomes has had that high level since his last couple of years, obviously winning a Super Bowl, winning 2 Super Bowls now, and it's different because they put him on a very, very high pedestal, whereas Purdy still has that last pick of the draft mentality behind him, which is why a lot of people don't have him at that high of a pedestal. But if we're basing it off of the whole season, Purdy has been the better quarterback, but a lot of people still have their money on Mahomes winning the game compared to Purdy winning the game as quarterback. Overall, team-wise, I think it comes a little differently. Because I think the Niners' defense is obviously way better than the Chiefs' defense on paper and in what they've been playing. Even though the first 2 playoff games, their defense has not played a full game yet. The Niners' defense has not played a full 48 minutes of football yet. So I think they could definitely save their best football for the biggest game of the season. I could totally see that because that Mahomes offense, he does not have the receivers, and he has not elevated those players yet on offense. He just really has Kelsey. So if you can control Kelsey to the minimum, I don't think Pacheco's going to run all over the defense. And I think that's what's going to win the football game is going to be time possession with Purdy controlling the clock on offense and scoring touchdowns. You can't not score touchdowns against the Chiefs. It has to happen. But that would be the way to beat Mahomes is control clock and limit his possessions. And Purdy would definitely do that because he is above not just a game manager, he is a game changer. Because talking about Cam Newton, he's a game changer. They wouldn't be here without that second half against the Lions. So whatever Cam says, he's off his rocker. So that's what I got right now. So we'll keep from there. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I like your sentiments. You came at that with a really, really good synopsis of what's going on, man. That makes total sense. What you're saying. I gotta echo your sentiments. For me personally, if you look at the body of work, you have to go Patrick Mahomes. But if you look at it from a standpoint of who's just been an overall better quarterback, you got to give it to Brock Purdy. I know we mentioned Cam. I know I mentioned Cam Newton earlier. Here's the situation. Cam got on out there, and he's out there with the Super Bowl media and everybody, and he kindly asked us as Niner fans to stop adding him. Let me explain something to you, Cam. When you shut your mouth about our quarterback, we'll stop adding you. The more shit you talk about Brock Purdy, the more shit we're going to talk about you. At the end of the day, Cam, there's no question that you had that situation in Carolina, that you did what you did. No one is discounting what you did. No one's discounting the fact that you were Superman for several years. But what you did was waste your life away in a city that never gave you anything back for it. And it's nothing against the city of Carolina. It's nothing against North Carolina or Charlotte or anybody. But you stayed there all those years, and you never won nothing. You had one opportunity, and you made a business decision to fail. You overthrew Ted Ginn Jr. You had a chance to jump on that ball, but you didn't. There were moments in that game where you had an opportunity to show everybody who Cam Newton was, and you failed. Yet here this young man is in his second year, and he's doing what you couldn't do. He is who you are not. And once again, I'm not saying that Cam was not an amazing talent, because he was. That man could throw, he could run. But at the end of the day, when you left Carolina, you were not the same Cam Newton that you were. Even coming back to Carolina, you still weren't the same Cam Newton that you were. So you want us to stop adding you? Keep your mouth shut about our quarterback, and we'll leave you alone. At the end of the day, you have to realize one thing: game manager or not, this young man has done his job. He comes into work every single day. He gives the glory to God. You can't be mad at that. And he goes out there on that field with the mindset of, I'm going to be better for the guys around me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win this game. So at the end of the day, don't waste your time. You can talk all the crap you want. You can ask us to stop adding you. But the more your mouth opens with Brock Purdy's name coming out of it, the more we will bombard you as the faithful and show you what's going on. We have an amazing talent at quarterback that we didn't even know existed. And I'll say this. Kyle literally came out and said, "There's somebody got to mute because I am echoing. I don't know who it is. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, whenever you're using a phone, Darion, yeah, you got to mute yourself when you're not talking because it'll echo, because it'll hear you. You'll hear me. But either way, I will say this. Kyle Shanahan came out and said this young man was better than everybody, better than the quarterback he wasted a bunch of draft picks on, better than Jimmy Garoppolo. You had to go to your head. You had to go to your owner, and justify fucking those picks off by telling him, hey, the last dude we took in the draft is actually the best guy. So I'll say this and we can move forward and Brandon will get back and seeing. But at the end of the day, I was right. Kyle Shanahan never believed in Trey Lance, and he never wanted him. Because if you draft a guy with the last pick in the draft and say that dude's better than Jimmy Garoppolo and the guy you wasted all those picks for, it tells me you never cared. So at the end of the day, hey, you got your quarterback. Congratulations. But once again, people, I have been proven right. Kyle, don't fuck with black quarterbacks. It is what the fuck it is. So Brandon dropped off and ran away.
What? Wait, Dion. If that has nothing to do with it. If they're going against each other, and you can just see that Purdy's better because with your eyes tell you who the best quarterback is. It's like it's a fact, and it's a fact.
I'm not gonna open that door because we'll go on about that for years. It's not about it being a fact. It's about the fact that you went to your owner and had to justify fucking off several picks that you wasted on a quarterback you had no belief in. And you brought in a guy with the last pick and said, this dude is better than the guy I've had starting for several years and the dude I wasted picks on. Don't tell me that it's not the fact that Kyle does not care for black quarterbacks. It's been a proven fact. I'm not going to go back into it because I've proven it to you time and time again with nothing but facts. I never lied to you. I've only hit you with facts about the situation with him and black quarterbacks. It's very fucking simple. At the end of the day, no matter how many times y'all want to fight or try to argue or try to erase that narrative, at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan has a quarterback and it's Caucasian, and he likes that, and I'm cool with that. I love Brock Purdy. I love what he brings to what he brings to the table. I love that he's helped us win all these games. I love what he's doing for us in the playoffs, and I'm gonna love him even more if he can bring us a Super Bowl ring. But at the end of the day, it still does not negate the fucking fact that I've hit y'all with nothing but truth, and y'all keep seeming to want to avoid the fact that's in your face. And if you want to avoid it, go right ahead.
The truth is,
maybe Lance
Trey Lance sucks, bro. Trey Lance sucks. He's always going to suck. He's not going to be a good quarterback. He can be yellow, green, purple, and little gremlin.
That's cool. But once again,
it has nothing to do with black.
At the end of the day, once again, Kyle Shanahan proved me right by getting up there. He was a little saucy too. If y'all couldn't tell, Kyle had a couple of beers in him. That I saw. He proved you right in the fact that he saw with his eyes what Brock Purdy can provide in the field and what Trey Lance couldn't, and that changed his mind. But when he drafted Trey, he had the full intention of playing Trey. If he
It's
had the full
just-
intention of playing Trey Lance, then he would have stuck with Trey Lance no matter what
But
happened.
if you suck, you just suck, bro.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day,
Dude,
I
But
never
we don't
said
even know
I
if he
never said
did
Trey
suck.
Lance was a
He's
godsend.
going to suck. He does
I
suck.
never said he was the greatest quarterback that ever lived. I never said any of that. I'm
No,
just
you did
pointing
not.
out a fact. The young that period point blank. Y'all don't like to believe it, and y'all want to avoid it. At the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan has a preference at quarterback, and it's fucking Caucasian. Y'all want to keep lying to yourselves and don't believe that that's the truth? Name a black quarterback that Kyle actually liked. I'll fucking wait. You can't. So let's move the fuck on because y'all are not gonna win this argument. You're gonna keep
Name
failing
name a black
He's
quarterback
only
that can
coached
play good in this
better.
game.
And he
he's
just
only
chose that
coached
guy.
two.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a difference. He coached two and he
last year-
failed both of them.
And
He
last
failed
year when he
both
brought
of
in
them.
a quarterback, that guy
Bro,
was
he
black.
brought in Josh Johnson out of familiarity. You know Kyle helps the homie. How many times has Kyle brought in somebody
But
out
he's
of
black.
familiarity on this
Why
squad?
would he help
But he's
him?
black. Yeah.
And he brought him in to be what? The third string guy.
But he still brought him in, though. Why bring him in if he's black?
Familiarity and
Bring
the
a
third
white man.
guy. He had no shot at being on the field.
Bro, you're not going to
Knew
sell
that.
me on the
And
black
he
thing,
only
bro.
brought him in
Sorry.
just because he needed a third guy. Let's move the fuck on, man. Y'all already know how I feel about
You're
this.
the one that
Y'all
brought it up, bro.
y'all not gonna win
Well-
this argument. You're gonna keep failing because y'all don't have no facts. I got facts. I got shit to back up what I say.
I got fat.
Okay, well, I mean,
Yeah, you got feelings, okay? Feelings aren't facts.
Fuck, Beto. Okay, damn. Okay,
Still sexy
anyways,
motherfucker, Beto.
just real quick.
There it is. Show him,
Hey,
Beto.
just real
Show him
quick,
that
guys.
sexy
Oh, you want to see muscles?
There
Shit.
you go. Show him.
I
Beto.
lost him about 10
Show him,
years ago.
goddammit. But
All right,
I'm
hey,
gonna
so
say
just
something.
shout out.
Quarterbacks, I'll show my stomach.
Kyle's only
gonna say
coached
this.
two. He did really good
Christian,
with one.
just let it go,
but he-
bro.
they-
Let's move on. Let it go, bro. You're gonna y'all
Hey,
gonna keep fighting.
shout out real quick. Shout
Well,
out
I
to
don't like
James Brown
Italians.
for saying
You can
that
you can
Brock
say that-
Purdy is a game executive.
Hey,
You
whoa,
can say-
Beto, an Italian gave you 4 Super Bowls, so you shut your mouth.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But I was talking
leave the
about
Oh,
Brandon.
Paisanos alone.
yeah. You say yeah.
But I was talking about
Yeah.
Brandon.
Let's leave the Paisanos alone, okay?
No,
And-
hey, look. at
And their
the end of the
McDonald
day,
Wi-Fi.
I think that all of us can agree. If we move on to the running backs, there is no fucking point in talking about it. We all know it's CMC. Isaiah Pacheco ain't done shit in this league to compare to CMC in any way, shape, or form.
100%.
It's nice that the guy is there. It's nice that you exist, Isaiah. Congratulations on all the success that you've had this season. You are not Christian fucking McCaffrey. That is let me explain something to you. Christian McCaffrey is the coldest fucking running back in the league. Period. There is nobody better than him. And if you name another running back, I guarantee you I will shoot down your argument. So we have to move forward because this is where I really want to see it. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna start with Beto because he in the first spot. Who's the better tight end?
Oh, that's easy, bro. And people want to call me biased. That's fine. Call me biased. Listen, you put Kelsey on the Niners offense, he doesn't produce as much as if you put Kittle on the Chiefs offense.
Ooh,
Kittle blocks.
beautiful point.
He catches. He does everything. Kelsey's more of a diva. They can catch the ball. I would love to have Kelsey, but he needs a system like Kansas City. He can't. He's not the type of guy that would just humble himself and block and take pride in blocking. He wants the ball. So I say easily George freaking Kittle.
Let's go ahead and give it to our guest, Darian. Go ahead, man.
Oh, hold on. Let me unmute him. Go ahead, Darian.
All right. So this has been the argument for those two players, Kittle and Kelsey, right? The two Ks at tight end, both part of Tight End University over in Iowa. The difference was the original argument was Kelsey was always healthy, whereas Kittle was not. But now Kittle's put a couple of years together with Purdy, I think has elevated his game even more to where he's neck and neck with Kelsey. You can't take away Kelsey's ability as a receiver, but what sets Kittle apart is that getting down dirty and taking pride in blocking. because that's what sets the offense up, especially with McCaffrey running behind that offensive line. It's a very, very close comparison. If I were to take a tight end in the red zone, I probably would take Kelsey just because he has a bigger body and he can jump up a little bit better. But if I'm on a long drive and I need my tight end to get in block and run routes, you're taking Kittle all day.
That's a good point, Darren. Very good
All
point.
right, you know what? I'm gonna bring it on down to Brandon.
Mr.
Yes,
Wi-Fi,
sir.
your turn.
Coming to you from your
So
anus.
I'm gonna go with I'm going with Kittle as well. I want to see Kelsey is this big because Patrick Mahomes he only throws to Kelsey. So I mean that's the only reason why he's that big, and everybody talks about him. Kittle, like Darian said, the guy could run routes. He could block. He takes, dude. I mean, like, go back to the Lions game. Look how he took out Hutchinson, man. So, I mean, the guy could do everything on the field. So, I'm going Kittle all the way.
Media, what you got?
Yeah, I think Kittle, for no doubt, I think is better than Kelsey. I mean, like you guys said, blocking and the tight end position ain't just receiver, Travis Kelsey. It's about blocking in the run game as well too. I don't ever see Kelsey, I feel like, block. So I'm definitely taking Kittle all day. And also, yeah, just like Kittle, I mean, he's always had, he's been on this team since the beginning. So just having that quarterback like carousel, has been rough for Kittle. So he finally has the guy. And speaking of Kittle too, I hope we get to see Kittle more in this game because sometimes it's like we don't see him really at all
You guys are
in the
too much.
first half, and then we end up using him more. It's even vice versa. So, man, Kyle Shanahan, use all your weapons.
That's a good point there. Anyone, Christian, you want to add to that, or
Sorry, what are we talking about again?
Kittle and Kelsey, who's the better tight end?
I mean, people say that Kelsey's the GOAT, right?
who did you vote for president first? No, just kidding. Go ahead.
No, we ain't getting to this damn podcast.
Oh, this ain't a political show.
Don't let Jim go in there. And fuck
No.
around with this shit, bro.
I think we'll probably avoid that. Everybody says Kelsey's the GOAT, blah blah blah. But he's really just a receiver. I mean, yeah, he lines up in the slot, he lines up on the line, right, in 3-point stance. But he's a receiver. He's not really a tight end. Tight ends are supposed to.
That's what
block.
they said.
Tight ends are
That's
supposed
what
to
they said
be
about him in prison.
They're supposed to be.
He's not a tight end
in the
anymore. He's a
trenches, right?
receiver. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so he's supposed to be. Tight ends are supposed to be. Able to
Loose.
block, able to do everything. That's kind of the point. If you're really just there to catch the ball, he's just really a big bodied receiver who's, he's really good. He's great because actually one thing I do like about him, he does catch the ball with his hands a lot more than like most tight ends do, which is beneficial. But that's why I was saying he's more of just like a slower, slot receiver than he would be a tight end, because Kittle does everything you want. Kittle, you get everything from the tight end. You get a blocker who's one of the best guys, on the team blocking. And then he's amazing with the ball in his hands, right? All you got to do is get the ball in Kittle's hands, and his ability to run after the catch is in break tackles is some of the best. He's one of the best in the league at doing so. So when you pair both and you're going to go all around tight end, you're going to give it to Kittle. But if you're going to go just pass catching, you'll give it to Kelsey. So it's really what you're talking about and what you're referring to. It's really this discussion seems like it's always going to be a move the goalpost kind of discussion because they play the position completely differently. And I guarantee you, if you asked both guys who's better, one's going to say the other and the other one's going to say the other. They're not going to say themselves, right? They asked Kelsey this week, and he said Kittle, right? And, they're friends and whatnot. And he said it was Kittle. But I know Kittle would probably say it would be Kelsey. So it's just hard to really say who's better because it just depends. But like the point made earlier, Kittle's better for our offense because we need that blocking, we need that ferociousness, and I would take him as a leader over Kelsey 1,000 times a week and twice on Sunday. He's an absolutely amazing leader. He's the most positive guy on the team. He's the exact kind of guy you want in the locker room. 100% way more, than I'd want. Kelsey obviously brings, outside stuff and distractions and way more of a diva. So having a diva tight end to me is just weird in general. But so I would take Kittle obviously because of that, but he's obviously way more important to our team. Like he's one of the most important players on our team. So it's going to be biased. And I just think that this conversation's never going to go anywhere because they aren't two tight ends that do the same thing and then you're comparing them both. They're completely opposites of each other. So it's hard to compare apples to oranges. It's the same position technically, but because I would take Kittle, and I would take Kittle because as somebody who likes old school football, Kittle's old school football to me. I like traditional tight ends that can sit there and block and put your freaking ass in the dirt and then go up and freaking make some crazy catches and be dominant, right? That's what I prefer. So I would pick Kittle. It's just I'm saying in the long run, in the speak, I don't think Kittle will even say in big media Hall of Fame type stuff. They're never going to put Kittle in the same category as Kelsey because he doesn't catch the ball as much as Kelsey does. But Kelsey doesn't hardly block at all. That's what I mean, that it's just always going to be hard to really have that discussion.
All right. So media, what you got for us, buddy?
I already talked about Kittle and Kelsey.
Oh, you did. My bad. Shit. Did we get to Darian? We got to everybody. Nice. All right. So
Beto, did you go?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I went.
He was the first one.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. Okay. I'm gonna ask a question real quick. What does our defense have to do to stop Mahomes and keep him in the pocket? Darian, go first.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, if you guys haven't told behind me, I'm kind of sneaking back here with some Raider stuff right there, sneaking in here. But the reason why I'm here is because I want to talk about how to control Mahomes and that Kansas City offense. As my team plays them twice a year, and we've obviously beat them and spoiled their Christmas, which was a great day for me. Not so much for the Niners that day with Baltimore. But when it comes to keeping Mahomes in check, it is not really disguised because he reads the field very well. As obviously he's the top end quarterback, but it's just pressure. You just gotta pressure him so much. You just cannot let that gas come off the gas pedal. You cannot. So that earlier I heard somebody got to light a fire under Chase Young's ass, which is true because he has been very, very quiet these last couple of games, even towards the end of the season. You didn't really hear much after that Jacksonville game from him. If you can get Chase Young to get in that backfield, along with Bosa, and Armstead has been coming back week by week. This bye week has helped him out a lot. If that front four can get to the backfield and pressure Mahomes and make him make quick decisions, which will lead him to bad mistakes, that's the way that defense is going to beat that Kansas City offense.
Okay,
I
just want to say one. Hold on, I want to say one thing to the Raiders fan and why. I mean, the reason you guys and I'm going to give this guy his props. The reason you guys do so well against Mahomes is because you have the guy with literally the unstoppable fucking motor on your team. That guy is insane how freaking much he can go without getting tired.
Are you talking about Mr.
Defensive player of the
Crosby?
year, for sure. Yeah,
Mr. Crosby, dude,
defensive player of the
he
year.
is absolutely insane.
Fucking monster. Fucking monster.
Too bad the rest of the team sucks.
But
All right,
that'll
we
be-
don't want to get into that argument right now. We don't want to get into that argument.
don't worry about it, man.
All I know is two of your team you hate the most is playing in your house for a title, bro.
That
How do
hurts.
you handle that as a Raider fan?
I've heard it all week from every Niner fan in the Bay Area, hitting my phone up after the NFC
Which team you hate
Championship
more,
game.
though, the Niners or Kansas City?
You know, so demographically, obviously, I live here in San Jose, so obviously I know a lot more Niner fans here compared to Kansas City Chiefs fans. So would it hurt me to have either team win? Yeah, I hope both teams lose, but obviously that's not going to happen. So realistically, I mean, this is obviously deja vu of 2020 before COVID ever happened. And that game was a teardropper for me, too. I don't know who I want to win. This is going to wait. I don't even want to watch the game because I don't care for either of these teams. But realistically, non-biased, the Niners would annoy me more just because I know more Niner fans will give me more shit. But realistically, I have them winning because they should be the better team.
see, now I can respect that. The reason being is because he came at it from an unbiased standpoint. I know in his head he's like, fuck both of these teams. Number one, because we were his Bay Area rival for all those years. Number two, because the Chiefs are an in-division opponent, and nobody wants to deal with that. I mean, that would be like us having to watch the fucking Raiders and the goddamn Rams playing the Super Bowl in Levi's. I can tell you right now with all certainty, I ain't allowing that to happen by my goddamn self. I'd be the first person at the stadium. I'm doing shit I ain't supposed to be doing. Let's just say that.
Can we just
I'm
say
not fucking around letting either one of them play because I don't want to see either one of these bastards win shit in my house. I can tell you that much. But
obviously
go ahead.
all fans thinks the Niners should win because they literally beat the Chiefs when their quarterback couldn't complete a fucking pass for 3 quarters, and they still beat the Chiefs.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now, like
That's
the beauty.
That's wild to me.
Raiders. The beauty of the Raiders versus the Chiefs is the Chiefs think they finna walk in and just be able to beat the Raiders, and the Raiders always give them a fucking problem.
They laid out a really good.
That was the first win over the Kansas City in a long time, though.
But
It was,
in
but
Kansas
at
City.
the end of
They
the
laid
day, like they never make it easy, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm alluding to. Like
They're not
they
just going in there and be like, oh, we
they don't
have
just
it.
go in and Mahomes
Divisional games are like that, though.
500
I'd say
yards
it's
and
similar
all
to
that.
you guys playing. It's similar to you guys playing the Rams. The Rams always. Give
But
you
if
shit,
I'm
but you
Wilkes,
guys always beat them.
Yeah.
I'm
Actually, the
game
Seahawks always
that-
give us shit.
Hold on.
The Rams,
Hey.
we ate them for breakfast every year.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think I'm gonna tell you right now, the team that gives us the most shit is where I'm at. It's the fucking Cardinals. Damn birds won't just
I
die
know.
quietly.
Freaking
Little
hate.
bastards always
Oh,
want to
yeah,
be around
yeah,
trying to pick at somebody and shit. Get on my nerves. Every time we play them, these fuckers will never just go quietly into the dark. But
Okay, but
I respect that though. Yeah, I respect that
Getting-
wholeheartedly, man. I know that
getting
kind
back
of
to the
sucks.
Super Bowl
I mean,
stuff.
we live in the Bay, so you know it's gonna be a ton of Niner fans.
Niners.
What I would tell
So-
you is, hey, at least you got Show Dog and at least you got Cube on your side from Mount Westmore. You know, 40 is the only Niner fan there, and we all know the poor Snoop, he's a Steelers fan, and we already know how that worked out. But what were you gonna say, Lefty?
I would say, like, getting back to the Super Bowl stuff, if I'm games I'm focusing on and how to beat the Chiefs is actually that game, Christmas game where the Raiders defense absolutely stuffed Chiefs offense. Like they took it to them. I mean, that's like the game where you're like, okay, we gotta try to emulate what the Raiders defense did. Like, I mean, that was Antonio Pierce's coming out game as a head coach. So that's, if I'm Wilkes, that's kind of the game I'm focusing on. I've been thinking about that, for 2 weeks, since we figured out we were playing.
I
the
just
Chiefs,
hope our
and, like,
offense plays better than their offense in that game. But I hear you, defensive wise, we got to emulate the Raiders.
Well, yeah, I definitely think our offense is going to play a lot better than their offense did. I mean, but
because O'Donnell could not move the ball.
it really just comes
pass
down
the ball.
our defense just needs to play well enough to slow the Chiefs down because they haven't been that great on offense this year. They are one of the worst teams at scoring in the second half this year, right? They got shut out in the second half of the AFC Championship game. We scored 24 unanswered points in the second half of the NFC Championship game. So it's really going to come down to obviously the defense, but it's, the defense just needs to play well enough to slow them down, right? If they let them have 17 points, good. I mean, it's fine. We're going to win that game, right? The Chiefs' offense is not scary in this game. It's really what our offense can do against their defense. Their defense hasn't given up 30 points all season. So that's the biggest thing. Not so much scared of what the Chiefs offense is going to do to our defense, especially what our offense can do against their defense. I do think we're going to figure out how to stop the run. I don't think we're going to see lack of effort in this game. I don't think Pacheco's going to run all over us. I think both the Packers and the Lions have way better run games than the Chiefs do. Right? The Lions were the number 2 running team in the league this year.
Yep.
That's a huge difference, right? They had 2 1,000-yard rushers at running back. That's a big difference of what the Chiefs are going to do. So,
and their defense, as good as it is, they can't stop the run. Their run defense is worse than ours.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. Which defense is going to do better at stopping the run? But I would say our defense, because our strong suit in running the ball are really outside zone plays, right? Outside zone runs, and then that's really what the Chiefs struggle the most at defensively is outside zone runs. They struggle with the screen plays. So that's why I think, we're going to run the ball a lot with McCaffrey, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Debo takes his receiver screen to the house. So if we want to start talking about the defensive weaknesses for the Chiefs, right? They're really, really good in coverage, right? They're good in coverage on the outside. They're good in coverage downfield. They do struggle a little bit more with the tight ends than they do receivers. So we have a chance with Kittle, but they're not good at tackling in space, right? You can break tackle. You can break tackles, right, and get a lot of yak on them. They're not good at the screens, right? So, which we tend to be pretty good at, even though we don't call a lot of halfback screens this year. And then we're really good at the outside runs. So it's really just this game is going to come down to is our ability on offense to attack their defensive weaknesses, because I think our strengths on offense match their defensive weaknesses, so that we should offensively dominate this game if we come out with the right game plan, because Purdy doesn't need to throw the ball more than 20, 25 times in this game. Like, he doesn't need to be the guy that wins it. If you just let him do that, then if you throw 25 times, he's probably going to go, 18 of 25, 17 of 25. All his passes are probably going to be efficient. He's going to have time to throw, because if he's only throwing it that much, we're running the ball well. So
I say we got to run the ball at least 30 times.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
Our run to pass ratio has to be lopsided in favor of the run.
Yep.
And to Media's point earlier, we need to see everybody, man. Kyle, Christian McCaffrey is not the only person that exists. Okay. As much as we love him, as much as we love what he brings to the table, you do have Elijah Mitchell and George Mason.
And they're all fresh because you haven't.
They're all, and they all have
they're
fresh
black.
legs. Elijah ain't sitting there crying. You opened up your press conference by stating, I typically open this up with an injury report, but I don't have anyone that's injured. With that being said, that means everybody's healthy. For the life of me, mix up your backs. The reason you do that is because you will confuse the defense. They don't know the style of Jordan Mason. They don't know the style of Elijah Mitchell. All they did was watch film on CMC. I can guarantee you there is not a soul on that Chiefs defense that is worried about those other two backs that I just named. They all thinking CMC. Why? Because what have you shown them all year long, Kyle? That all it is Christian McCaffrey. So be smart and be intelligent. And for all the credit everybody gives you, use that super genius mind that you have and mix it up. Throw them in once in a while. I am not saying take carries away from CMC where he's not the focal point, but I am stating be smart. Confuse these dudes. If I have a run up the gut, I'm putting in Jordan Mason. You know why? He's a banger, and that's what he likes to do. So I'm going to do that. But Christian, hold on before you go. Don't start. If you're going to go, don't defend him on this.
I'm not. I'm saying what's going to happen. I'm going with what you're saying. So what I'm going with your point is, if we are running the ball as much as we hope we may see them. I still think the run game is going to be mostly McCaffrey and Debo. I think there's a chance we might see.
But why not?
I know. I'm just saying. I think there's a chance we may see
we don't have injuries at running backs.
Because we may have to run, or we may be running so much, we may see our other running backs. I'm not just saying we're going to see a lot of the ball in the run game because they struggle on the run. Like we'll see those. Hopefully, see those Debo jet sweeps and whatnot. I'm telling you, I think McCaffrey and Debo are going to get the ball a lot in this game. It's going to be centered around both of them running the ball. Now, if we're continuing to run the ball and run the ball well, yes, we will see the other guys, and it will be a good change of pace. Still don't think that we will see him as much as we might want to, but if we're winning the game, I don't care as much. But I like putting it in because run the ball. McCaffrey needs a break. I want to hit freaking Mitchell with a receiver screen because you know what I mean, something like that. Change it up. You know, I actually like Mitchell on the outside stretch play as well because of his speed. Get
just
him
keep
out
the
there,
legs fresh. Put him in there.
I assume we'll see we might see more of a rotation. It is hard to say for sure because McCaffrey is such a focal point of the offense, and every single time this year earlier in the season when Mitchell went in, we would run the ball and the defense would tee off on that. And they're running it. We're going to stop them, right? Mm-hmm. You know, when Mitchell was in against the Bengals, they were going to messed up, and then Purdy throws that interception because Mitchell messed up the play, right? So, you know, those things you have to think about too, right?
Yeah. So really quickly, let's deviate from this. Let's go with some X factors because we're about an hour in. Go ahead, Darian. Go ahead, give us your X factor on offensive defense for the Chiefs. Let's start with the Chiefs.
Ooh, X factor for the Chiefs. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. I was going Niners first, but X factor for the Chiefs will be Chris Jones in the middle. In the middle, if he destroys the offensive line, it will ruin a lot of problems the Niners will have for game plans. Now, you game plan for Chris Jones so much. You have to contain him, though. If you let him win his one-on-ones with the center, or if he moves over to the left guard and he blows by that double team without chipping him in the middle, you're going to have to chip him every once in a while with the running back. Maybe a Jordan Mason or Elijah Mitchell on third down. You're going to have to chip him, even if he's in the middle for pass pro. Chris Jones would be my X factor on the Chiefs defense. The Chiefs offense, I'm going to go with the rookie, Rashid Rice, number 4. He is their number 1 guy that is not named Travis Kelce. I watched a game in Vegas this year when Kansas City came to town, and he caught the ball all over our defense in the second half. He did not drop one ball, but he does have drop problems. But if he goes off, which I don't think he will, because I think there will be a lot more focus on Kelce because of Taylor Swift and all this stuff. He has to get his touches. Rashid Rice and Chris Jones for the Chiefs would be my X factors for that team. Gotta contain those two.
If he doesn't touch the ball, he can't touch her. So.
All right, Beto, since you spoke,
Hey,
go
hold
ahead and give us your X factor for the Chiefs.
I don't really.
The X factor for the Chiefs is going to be it's going to be her. A Niner fan needs to go inside behind her, push out the window while they're showing her on camera.
We need to keep her sleeping because she's coming from Japan, bro. Make her just sleep throughout the entire game, man.
No, but all seriously though, it's going to be. I agree with Darren. I think Rice is going to be. Hopefully, he's not overlooked. You have Kelsey. They're obviously going to game plan for. They know what Patrick Mahomes, Pacheco the same, but Rice could be the X factor in this. We got to make sure we bump him. Don't let him run free. Just feel the presence. But I think Thomas will be up for the task in this game. I think he'll play well, and I expect good because I expect Shavir Ward to cover Kelsey and them and help out there. But and on defense, for me, man, it's hard to go against Chris Jones because he is a monster in the middle. But I think it's going to be Duffy. I think his name, the corner.
Trey McDuffie.
Yeah. We got to be careful with him, man, because he can disguise himself pretty good back there. And Brock Purdy can see one thing, and the next thing you know, he pops up and can get an interception. So he worries me a little bit. So I think he'll be the X factor on defense.
So we're going to kick it down to Brandon. Then we're going to go to media. And we're going to say the best for last with Lefty there.
So we just going Chiefs first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to go with the losers first.
X factor for me. On offense, I'm going to go Kelsey. Because I just feel like Patrick's just going to be throwing to him only. Maybe a little bit Rashid Rice, but I see a lot more receptions for Kelsey, or at least attempts, I should say. And then defense, I'm going to agree with everybody else, honestly. Chris Jones, he's a stud. The guy knows how to play, man. He comes off that side, and he attacks you, man. So we definitely got to watch out for that for sure. And if he's coming off that right side, dude, I'm kind of worried because McKivitz sucks ass.
Okay, calm down there a little.
All right, what you got, media?
So for me, I think for the Chiefs offensively, I'm gonna have to agree with Brandon. I think Travis Kelce. I mean, just they have the connection between, Mahomes and Kelsey's just. I mean,
the love connection.
They've been together for so long, and they continue to even look better. So, Niners definitely the linebackers are gonna have to play well. Greenlaw, Fred Warner, they've been missing a few assignments in these last few games. And then defensively for the Chiefs, this might be an interesting one, but I'm going with George Karlaftis on the edge. I think he doesn't get enough love just because I think Chris Jones kind of gets all the love on that defensive line. So,
okay. So I'm going to do mine really quick, and then we're going to give it to Lefty, because Lefty get a little long-winded at times.
No shit.
Bro, I almost fall asleep because I just like.
I was about to shoot myself until he started talking. I'm like, okay.
I'll say this really
I'll
quick.
put it away. I'm just kidding.
I do like the Rasheen Rice pick on offense. I think that he's going to be a forgotten guy, and if they do that, he's going to make them pay. Kid's been coming along fairly well all year long. So we got to pay very close attention to him. As much as we're paying attention to Kelsey, we got to pay attention to Rasheen Rice. Now I'm gonna flip this on defense. L'Jarius Sneed. Hey man, Sneed is a monster. A young man can ball. So I'm gonna say L'Jarius Sneed is a dude you gotta watch out for, man. He can make some fucking plays. But let's give it over to Lefty. What you got here?
Max factor for the Chiefs, Bill Vinovich.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
The ref
fucking referee.
It's the same reffing
out there. That's the X factor.
He's the fucking X factor in 2019.
Yeah. Hey, I don't disagree with that one.
All right, so
All right,
that's
I can give you guys a serious one. I was
okay.
I
I agree with
mean,
that, though. I agree with that. I just want you to know.
Same.
really the X factor obviously for the Chiefs offense is Mahomes. He's not really ever so far he hasn't really had that like a great performance in the Super Bowl. He's been to 3. This is his 4th one. He hasn't thrown up for over 300 yards in one of them yet.
Yeah,
I think he's got
his worst performance
5
have been in the Super Bowl. Right.
yeah, five touchdowns to 4 interceptions in the Super Bowl, right? He's not been great in this game. He's the X factor for them, right? He has to play his best. If they're going to win, he's going to have to actually not just dink and dunk his way down the field like he has all season this year. Couple of bigger plays to Kelsey here and there. So, and then for defense, like Dion said, it's Snead because Snead's going to be lined up against Ayuk. Ayuk can really shake anybody with his route running. So it's going to be how much separation can Ayuk get with Snead, sticky coverage? How well can he get open with his route running? That's really going to be the matchup because he shut down, lockdown all year. It's really if Ayuk's going to be involved in the game, it's going to be because he's able to beat Snead 1-on-1. So that's going to be the thing because I think if Ayuk's able to get the upper hand in that one, that's going to be huge for the 49ers. So the Chiefs need Snead to be at his best.
That's great, man. So let's flip over to the Niners side of the ball. We're gonna start with media first. Who is your X factor on offense and defense?
Okay. So offensively, I think it's going to be CMC, man. I think that it's his first Super Bowl. And I just think he's going to put everything he's got on the line. I think he's just going to have I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns, maybe even a receiving touchdown to add to that. So, I mean, I just think CMC is going to ball the F out, man. And then defensively, I mean, this guy has been disappointing. I don't know where he's been, but I'm glad he said, we need to be better. I need to be better. I'm speaking of Chase Young, man. I think he's going to be a big X factor in this game if we want to get pressure on Mahomes and we'll get him a little bit off schedule and not let him extend the plays.
Nice. Darian, what you got?
All right. I'm going to start on the defensive side. I'm actually going to go with the Kansas City Chief, Mooney Ward, to be an X factor on that defense.
Like it.
It's a high stakes game for him, not only because it's Super Bowl, but it is his also former team he left because they didn't want to pay him. So this is going to be a huge game. I expect him to have at least 1 pick. He's going to have a pick of Pat Mahomes, and he's going to run it back in his face, and he's going to enjoy it with a W at the end of the night. But that's Mooney Ward's X factor on defense for me. I think he's going to have a big game. Offensively, I'm going to go with, obviously, the number 1 guy who was looked over his first couple years in this system with Shanahan, who's had a hell of a year last year, hell of a year this year. Should have been a Pro Bowler, but obviously he's in a Super Bowl, so he doesn't need to be a Pro Bowler.
57.
Brandon Ayuk. That's the guy.
Oh.
That's the guy. I think he's going to have a receiving touchdown. He might obviously have the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. I'm going Super Bowl touchdown Ayuk and Mooney Ward with a pick. That's my 2 X factors.
I love it, man. Brandon, what you got for us?
For defense, I'm gonna say Drake Greenlaw. I know it's probably Beto's option, but I'm gonna take Greenlaw. I think he gets his pick 6 in this game that he's been wanting. So I'm gonna say that, and then on offense, I'm gonna go with Deebo Samuel. I think that boy's gonna go off. He's gonna go off, man. Just watch.
All right. Let's give it to Lefty real quick. What you got?
Defense, I'm gonna go Hargrave. He gets a chance for revenge. He lost to the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl. He's kind of getting a Christmas gift in this game with no Joe Tooney. He's going up against a backup. There's no reason he shouldn't be able to dominate that backup. if he's at his best. So he should be able to be a game wrecker in this game. He's going to be extra motivated, obviously, losing last year to the same team, and you're going up against a backup. I mean, dude, you gotta show up. So I think he's going to be the X factor. Getting pressure up the middle on Mahomes is the way to beat him. For offense, it's Debo for me, right? I've been fully on whether or not who to pick for MVP if we win this game, and for me, it's either Debo or McCaffrey, one of the two. I expect Debo to have a big game. I expect to think when things are if things are close, he's going to be in Kyle's ear, give me the damn ball, kind of game. And I expect him to see him every time he has the ball in his hands to just be an absolute monster. Whether because it's going to take two. Every time he has the ball, it's not going to be easy to get him down. And I expect every time to get the ball in his hands to be big positive gains, just because out in the open field where the Chiefs struggle to tackle, and they're vulnerable to breaking tackles, right? To missing tackles. I just think that there's a big chance that Debo just absolutely takes this game over.
All right, Beto.
For me, on defense, it's going to be Jair Brown. I expect him to be the X factor. I think he's going to come on strong, defending Kelsey, hitting Kelsey. I expect him to come up big. That's my X factor. And on offense, it's going to be Mr. Juwan Effin Jennings. He's my X factor on offense, baby. I think this guy's going to ball in this game.
I love it, man. For me, I just have two people that everybody knows. All-Pro Fred on defense. I expect a lot of shoulder shrugs from him, from doing some great tackling. I expect him to be able to lock in with Kelsey and pay close attention to be able to get him taken care of offensively. I expect the people's tight end, George Kittle, to go out there and ball. Kyle, you have a tight end who can do it all. Let's remind the Chiefs what he can do in the passing game. If you give them that gentle reminder, they will be worried. Now, I'm going to say this really quick. I'm going to go with a talk your shit segment. We're going to start off with our guest. Go ahead and let loose. Let us know who you think is going to win. But talk your shit, man. Fight for the Raider fans who are just as upset as you that both of us is in your damn house playing for a Super Bowl and y'all ain't. Give them a little something to be happy and feel good, because I like the hire of Antonio Pierce. I love the fact that Devontae didn't leave. You've got Max Crosby. Let these Raider fans know, though I may not be happy with these two fucking teams in my house, I'm going to give you a winner, but I'm going to let you know it's still Raider Nation. Go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to give you a winner and a final score prediction.
Nope.
Winner's going to be the 49ers. They have been the best team all year. They've had the best roster all year. They're going to win 27-14. Final score. Put it in writing. 27-14.
I like it.
To all my Raider fans that might hate that decision, just wait. Be patient. We got new something coming this year. Next couple of years, we're going to come. 2026, there's a Super Bowl coming to Levi Stadium, and I predict that we will be there enjoying it.
But who's your quarterback?
You're funny, my guy.
My quarterback.
No,
I don't care who my quarterback is. I'll wait until AP picks Jaden Daniels. That's my guy. I want Jaden Daniels. That's my prediction for what I want. Will we get that? I don't know. We'll see what the
You're probably going to
front
get Knicks.
I mean, he had a good. Yeah, I don't know. It's still early with all these, with the Senior Bowl and the All-Star game. All they had. I want to see the combine, see what they do again. A lot of hit or miss reports with quarterbacks coming out of those things. So, I mean, what I would want is Jaden Daniels. He knows AP. AP wants him. That's what the reports have been coming out that he wants Jaden Daniels. I just don't know if the front office will want to jump up all those picks to go get him. So we will see. But if the Niners end up winning, which they probably will, we're going to come back to Levi Stadium and win your house. We'll come back. Don't worry. We'll be back.
All right. So I'm going to kick it over to the quietest person usually on our panel, and that's media, baby. Talk your shit,
not
man.
the quietest, but okay.
Let these Chiefs fans have it, bro. Give it to them. Let them know, man. Let them know we ain't in here to play no game.
So the first thing I'm going to start with, what was George Kittle saying after that 2020 season? Vengeance, baby. Vengeance. So I think the Niners are going to get their vengeance, man. I think they're tired of, just like the Eagles game last year, they're disappointed. I think they're going to be disappointed as well. They want to, I think, do it for some of these other guys. Trent Williams, this is his first time in the Super Bowl. Deshaun Gibson Sr., first time in the Super Bowl. So I think the Niners want that vengeance, and I don't give a score prediction. So,
all right, Brandon, go ahead, man.
All right. So like I've been telling people, I have a really good feeling about this Super Bowl compared to 2019. And like media said, we eight players on our team were in that Super Bowl in 2019. We come back. We hungry. We eating. And we're gonna mollywop them motherfuckers. I'm gonna say 31-21.
Okay. Go ahead, Lefty. Give it to him, man. And don't hold back, Lefty. Don't hold back, buddy. I know you got something in there, man. I ain't asking for no score prediction because I know you don't do that. Talk some shit, Lefty. Fuck these Chiefs, man.
Shit, man. Yes, I really want to beat the Chiefs. I mean, you guys know I probably hate the Chiefs most in our chat. I was getting shit rooting for the Eagles earlier this year against the Chiefs and whatnot. I really want to beat them. I can't really tell if I'm nervous or doubtful because of the fact that I'm just like kind of protecting myself from getting hurt if we do lose, because I'm kind of up and down. I'm like, I start thinking about things like where we're much better than them and we should win, and then I like come back down. I'm like, oh, we could lose still. So I'm pretty nervous. I've been very much up and down, right? It's been a long week and we're already Wednesday. But I'd like to think we could blow this team out. I mean, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see us play our best. I'd like to see our defense show up, right? I'd like to see us do what we did to the Jaguars after 2 weeks of preparation. That's what I want to see with 2 weeks of preparation to play the Chiefs. I want to see Kyle call his best game. I want to see Wilkes his best game. To me, this game is either really close and something goes a certain kind of way for a team to win, or it's a blowout. Like, I think either the Niners win big or somehow the game's close. I don't see the Chiefs blow anybody out because they don't score enough points to do that really this year. Part of me has been leaning to go a blowout. What I want to see is 31-10. Like, I want to see the Niners win 31-10. That's what I want to see. I'm feeling more, like 31-17, but it's really been hard for me to gauge. I'm like super nervous. I haven't been talking a lot of crap because I work with some Chiefs fans. I've been mostly quiet. I don't know. I just want the game to come and happen and be over with at this point because it's just it's been a lot of up and down already, and
all right,
it just depends on the day. So
did we get you B-Dubs?
Yeah.
All right. Now Beto took his camera off, and he came back as Super Niner Beto, the luchador.
El luchador, cabrones. Órale.
Let them
Let's
know.
put some money on this shit. Let's put some money on this shit, baby.
Let's put some
This is
money
what
on
I'm
it,
talking about
man.
right here. We're gonna bet some fucking money on this game. Ooh, come on, show me a bunch of $100 like that, baby. Let's go.
Beto ain't bullshit.
Let's go. I ain't messing around, baby. We're gonna kick that.
Yes.
And take names later.
No, but seriously though, I want a good game. I think we're going to play a great game. I'm confident that the Niners are going to take care of shit. I am going to drop $5,000 on this game, so I expect a good return. I'm confident. Put my money where my mouth is at, right? Well, that's what I'm about to do. I believe in my squad. I know Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but he has not been playing great football lately. Can he turn it up in a Super Bowl? Absolutely. I think the Niners came close 2 times in the preseason and losing the games, and then they came back. They know that they're able to come back now from deficit. Now it's about starting strong, starting fast, getting the ball. I don't expect the Kansas City Chiefs to have that comeback. They don't have the Tariq Hill that they can throw 30 or 40 yard or two. If they fall behind 14 plus points on us, they don't have it. I mean, I believe they only scored 30 points twice this season. They barely scored 17 points. The only problem is Baltimore can only score 10 on their side. The Niners play their type of football. I expect a ass kicking on the Niners side. I know everybody and their mama's betting. When I'm talking about the talking heads are betting for Kansas City. I just want to be able to watch, first things first, big nose Nick Wright come with an excuse how his quarterback Patrick Mahomes lost to Brock Purdy, baby.
All right. So I'm gonna say this.
Sorry, Dan. I'm gonna cut you off real quick about
Go
that.
right ahead.
Fuck Nick Wright. Fuck the Chiefs.
Say it, brother.
That guy is a biased motherfucker on ESPN, and he shouldn't even be on TV.
Come
Fuck
on,
that
bro.
guy.
We can both agree on that, baby. Let's go.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna say. I love what Beto did. Love that luchador mask. Shout out to every luchador that ever lived. Shout out to the ones that are
Couldn't
doing
see shit though, but
in the WWE. Legado del Fantasma, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. Shout out to all of the luchadors. Shout out to the late great Eddie Guerrero. You know what I'm saying? We love all of
old
them.
school Mascarado de Plata, Mil Máscaras. Let's
Bro,
go. Blue
shout
Demon.
out Dragon Lee, young luchador on the rise right now.
Also, real quick, acknowledge me.
Fuck Roman Reigns, man. About to get his ass whooped at WrestleMania.
Oh, I didn't know what you referenced for, but
Either way,
Fuck The Rock too, Dion.
I need you to slow down there, sir. Don't you ever say that. Don't you ever say that. You got to watch your mouth.
I'll say it again. Come in and use your fucking political power and fuck over guys that have been busting their ass for this company. Fuck that.
He ain't been busting shit. The nigga's been getting dick rolled for for several years. Don't get me started. Either way. Back to the facts.
They're treating him the same way they treated his dad in the WWE, like shit.
why is the Rock
How
going
long
to be?
you been treated like shit? I don't understand.
They fucked him over last year at WrestleMania when he should have beat Roman, but of course,
Are you talking about
somebody came
Cody?
in and changed it. Yes.
Yes, Cody.
They fucked him over.
What do you think I'm talking about?
I don't. Oh no, I thought you were talking about Reigns. No, man,
fuck Reigns. Fuck Roman.
Hey, at the end of the day, back to this.
Please,
Newsflash,
we're
Chiefs
talking about
fans.
soap opera.
Newsflash, Chiefs fans. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. Fuck Travis Kelce.
Preach it, baby.
Fuck his punk ass brother that ain't shit. Fuck his ugly ass wife. Taylor Swift ain't shit. And we gonna come in there and kick your teeth down your fucking throat. Okay? Nobody in here is a damn Swift. Nobody listens to that.
Like I said, let her fall asleep because she's gonna fucking be coming from Japan.
Dion trying to get us to run the ball right now.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I don't care about none of the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, fuck Pacheco, fuck Kels, fuck Mahomes, fuck Reed, fuck Spagnuolo, fuck them all.
And
I
little
don't like
rice.
any of you bastards. I want you to lose. I want us to beat the brakes off you so bad that you go home and wind up in a depression until the year starts again. I have no reason to believe that any of you motherfuckers can do anything against my defense because my defense is that great. I have no reason to believe that any of you people can stop Christian McCaffrey because he's that great. Debo is that great. Brandon Ayuk will break your ankles on any route that he runs if he chooses to. I have no reason to believe that Kyle Shanahan will get in his own way and screw himself out of a Super Bowl win. What I do have reason to believe is there is a people's tight end named George Kittle, who is the best all-around tight end in the game. There is a young man named Debo Samuel. He got the nickname because he was stealing shit from people when he was a kid. He would take your stuff. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The best way for Debo to come out of the tunnel is on a fucking beach cruiser to let you know that he is on the way to snatch chains and take names. We don't care about the Chiefs. We gonna go into the Raiders' house, beat the brakes off of y'all, party all motherfucking night, and I guarantee you our parade will be better than that bum-ass parade that the Rams had. That's all I got to say on that one.
Yeah, where they had to hire people to go out there so they look
right
like
there. Hire motherfuckers this one. Well, what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm here for the Rams parade. Are you a Rams fan? I think
they're like, we're homeless, but they hired us, so we're out here.
Yeah, is Kurt Warner still their quarterback? No?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I forgot. At the end of the day, we going into the Super Bowl with a head of steam. We ready to play like our hair is on fire. Our defense is ready to answer the call. We will be better in the run defense. Chase Young will have a fucking 7 habanero peppers up his ass, along with the jalapeno in his mouth, purposely to get him going. We are going to make sure that All-Pro Fred is out there literally flying all over the place and jumping up and making sure that he punches people in the mouth. Mooney's definitely going to have his pick, as Darian said. There's another guy here that I expect a lot from, and his name is Diamador Lenore. I expect him to shut down everything in that slot. Now, we're going to pray to sweet baby Jesus that Ambry pulls his head out of his ass and figures out how to play football again. But at the end of the day, there is nothing you can do to stop what we are going to do to the Chiefs. The Niners will prevail. This is our opportunity to get that 6th ring. We are not going to let it pass us by. We are going to bless Christian and media with their first Super Bowl win of their lifetimes, because they've only been a part of losses, along with Brandon too. They've only been a part of the L's. They haven't been there for the dubs. But we're going to be there for the dubs. And we are not talking about the Golden State Warriors. We're talking about winning this game, because no one cares about the Warriors.
Amen to that.
Hey, you better calm your ass down.
I know we trashed this year.
Look, I know they're
baby.
fucking ass right now, but hey,
I was waiting for it.
I
had to do it.
Okay.
But hey, with that being said, man, everybody go ahead and give your final words. We can get the fuck out of here. We've been here for about an hour and a half, man. But
we got 20 people strong.
Yeah, 20 people strong.
Let's give the chat,
man, coming in and hanging out with us. We're gonna kick it off with Darian, man. Let our guest get his final words in.
First off, I want to say thank you guys for having me on. It was awesome hearing you guys speak your words on the game. I hope it's a good game. I hope both teams lose. If being honest, but I just hope it's gonna be a good game. If it's a blowout, wouldn't be surprised. If it's a close game, one of these quarterbacks is gonna win it, and whatever quarterback's gonna win it is gonna end the MVP. That's my final statement. If it's a close game, it's gonna be an MVP, because that's how the NFL works.
Yeah,
always give it to the quarterback. Even if McCaffrey goes for 200 yards, it's gonna be the MVP if he wins it with a last-minute touchdown. So, good luck to you guys for your teams. I hope my team gets there soon. But yeah, I hope it's a good game. We'll see on Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, it's just about to come too.
Let's bring it up to Christian, man. Give us some final words, sir. I know you're a little nervous, but give us some pep talk, man. A little confidence, bro. Don't be nervous, man. We got this.
All right, let's go kick these motherfuckers' ass.
There's a Christian I know. There's my fellow lefty. God damn it! I was waiting on him to jump out.
Hey, McCaffrey's going to freaking have the best game of his career. I mean, when between him and Debo, dude, we're going to see career games from both of them. I'm telling you, these guys are going to carry this team on their back. And the Chiefs defense isn't going to know what hit them.
There we go.
And I know that Bosa's going to probably get double teamed, but I expect him to be an absolute game wrecker. He's not going to let this one go. He's going against the freaking pretty terrible tackle. So let's hope he can beat him. He's the most penalized guy in the league. Let's hope he continues that because Bosa's going to eat his and his dinner and take his girl.
There's the Christian I was waiting for.
I'm trying, dude. The nerves have not let it come out, so I'm trying to force it. But
you got it.
Let's go kick their ass.
Media, man. Talk to him, buddy.
Let's fucking make Taylor Swift fall asleep because she's worried about freaking coming back from Japan. I don't even want to see her face. Let's keep her sleeping, baby. Let's kick that ass. Let's get that Lombardi trophy, baby.
B-dubs.
Sir. This is the most confident I've felt since we've been going to the NFC Championship, since the Super Bowl, all that good stuff. I'm feeling good about this game, dude. I've been excited all week. We've been watching all the media, talk their shit, whatever. We got some people that are all for Purdy, and then we got some that, oh yeah, you can't beat Patrick Mahomes type shit. But we're gonna go in there. We're gonna get in there, destroy their asses. I think this is where we get our vengeance back in and get our shit going and get this dub and get our sixth Lombardi. Perry, finally in here, bro. What the hell?
Dude, I was waiting for my break in my class for the longest time, so I have a minute.
Beto, give your final thoughts, and then we gonna get a couple of things from Perry while he got a sec.
Right. Real quick before I give my thoughts, Darren. If I don't know if you know my boy, if you heard of my boy, but if you haven't, check him out. His name is the Raider Bear. And he talks about the Raiders. He's a good friend of mine. So if you haven't checked him out, go support him. He has his YouTube channel and Facebook. I know since you guys like talking about the Raiders, it's all good. I appreciate you having you here. Listen, no fear. Whatever happens. It's going to happen. We're either have the victory or we're not. I'm not in fear. I believe in my team. I'm confident in my team. My team showed me that they can come back twice from a deficit, and I'm never going to allow fear or anything swing me any other way. Kansas City had their time. It's our time. You don't get the luck throws and catches like Ayuk when the ball hits the helmet, and then he catches it, and then what's the name that never fumbles? Gibbs fumbles. Listen, shit like this doesn't happen unless the Super Bowl gods, football gods are looking at you. This is our year. We're getting number 6, and we're going to celebrate this on Monday. And if in case that it doesn't happen that way, you guys better show up. Don't be hiding. But keep the same energy. But other than that, I'll give it to my boy Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
Can you guys hear me okay? How's it sound?
Yeah, we got you, bro.
We good.
We got you.
All right. Yeah, I'm sorry for being on my cell phone. It's just, fucking college, man. What can I say?
You do you, bro.
So, just to chime in on my 2 bits, it's one of those games where I really think if the Niners can just frustrate Mahomes, it should be an okay game. And the reason why I say that is because I was listening to I forgot who I was listening to, but they said the best way to get at Patrick Mahomes is to frustrate him. And that's force interceptions, force incompletions, get him to break the pocket, just pressure him, do some shit on the guy, man. Because I was reading some stats talking about how Mahomes is actually one of the worst quarterbacks when he's pressured. And that's the thing, is that the Chiefs' offensive line is great. It doesn't compare to Green Bay or Detroit. So if there's any game where Chase Young is going to decide to play some football for us for once, it is the Super Bowl. So if anyone is going to step up on that defensive line other than Bosa, it has to be someone, because the moment we see Mahomes get pissed off, it changes the entire dynamic. I think we saw a lot of the times this season when the Chiefs were losing and just not playing well, Mahomes was blown up at his sideline entirely. So if we can get that version of Mahomes, just like the version of the Mahomes we got in the last Super Bowl where he threw 2 interceptions against us, shit happens, I get it, but if we can force turnovers, if we can get that version of Mahomes just to play shitty football based on his level of play, I like our odds, guys. I really like our odds. And I'm trying not to be a homer in that sense, but if we can get Mahomes to play some bad football, I think we'll have number 6 on our hands, guys. I really think we'll have number 6 on our hands, and I like those odds too.
Look
All
at
right,
Brandon
Perry,
smile
go
when
ahead
she
and
saw
give
the
us
name.
your X factor on offense and defense for both squads.
Okay, so I'll start with the Chiefs. I actually think a very underrated X factor for the Chiefs is going to be Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And the reason why is because that dude is only going to get 2 or 3 targets. He's not going to eat, but it's big play or bust. It's a big play or bust. I know every single one of you in this chat has screamed at our TVs when the Niners give up a fucking 3rd and 15 or longer. It has happened numerous times this season. It's going to possibly happen with anyone. If it's anyone, it's Valdez-Scantling. He's the big play threat on that team. I know he does get a case of the dropsies on offense, but it doesn't matter, man. I mean, if the Niners are going to really escape this game, it's going to be limiting the big plays. And I'm expecting Marquez's name to come up once or twice, hopefully for the worst. But he's definitely like the underrated X factor, I think, because look at everything outside of Kelsey, Mahomes himself, Pacheco, Rashee Rice. The Chiefs' offense is not that good, guys. It is not that good. But all it takes is one person to step up at the right time. Just like for us, when it was Chris Conley, for example, he made that huge catch, and it was like, where the fuck did this guy come from? That is basically Marquez.
A lot of people didn't even know who he was.
Exactly. You know? So that's Marquez-Scantling for the Chiefs. On defense, God, it's really tough, but I honestly think it's going to be Justin Reed, their big-time safety. He's a very underrated safety in the league. Safeties, I think he's going to be the big guy because the Chiefs run a lot of cover 1. So for those of you who don't know, cover 1 is single high safety. So one safety in the backfield. It's going to be about just attacking him. What kind of plays can he make? If Ayuk, for example, breaks off of Jerry Sneed, it's going to be Ayuk versus Reed. Can Ayuk win that matchup where it's one-on-one contested catches? And Reed is really fucking good as a safety, guys. So Reed, I think, is another underrated X factor. But moving on from the Chiefs entirely, because at the end of the day, it's fuck the Chiefs. When we're talking about the Niners, though, I think entirely the Niners X factor, man, it's CMC, you guys. I mean, it's the most vanilla answer I could possibly give, but it's CMC. It has to be. The offense runs through him, whether we think it's Debo or Kittle or Ayuk or whoever, it is CMC. If that guy can get going, holy shit, we're talking about a possible running back getting the Super Bowl MVP. No disrespect to Brock, but CMC is just the engine to this offense entirely, and getting him going is going to be key. Before I even guess, because I haven't been able to follow along too much, Christian, was CMC your X factor for the Niners?
It was Debo. I've gone back and forth because I think Debo and McCaffrey are going to battle for the MVP in this game. So I chose Debo, but I think the MVP is between the two of them.
I think I 100% am with you, because if someone's going to bust over 100 all-purpose yards, it's not CMC, it's Debo. And, I mean, God, guys, it's just the Niners have too many superstar X-factor offensive playmakers for me to think we are going to fucking lose this game. Even taking away just from me being a Niners fan, because at the end of the day, it's most likely the teams who have more star power. More often than not, those teams win Super Bowls. It leans in our favor, guys. It really does. But, man, I know I got to wrap it up here because I'm talking fucking forever. But on defense, though, for us, guys, I fucking love Diamador Lenore. That man has been backing his shit up. That man has been talking his shit. He did that interview with Keyshawn, or whoever the fuck that guy is, talking about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And, it's just they had so much confidence going into that game, into that locker room during halftime, too. Same thing. I really like what I've been seeing out of Lenore. I think the Niners, because of him, have elevated in the top 5 secondary status. Lenore is really underrated. And for a guy who isn't that big, he sure as fuck plays physical. When we lost DJ Reed, I was like, dude, who the fuck is going to replace this guy? And again, Lenore isn't that big, but he reminds me a lot of DJ Reed just because of how physical and how feisty he is. So I don't like to predict stats for games usually, but if anyone's going to step up and force some kind of turnover, I really believe in Lenore, guys. I really do. Because I think we all trust Mooney Ward. You know, I think he's going to lock out the side of the field, but it's going to come down to Lenore at the end of the day. It's Raishi Rice and a bunch of, no-name wide receivers, but no-name wide receivers.
Come on, what about Kadarius Toney though, dude? Come on.
See, hold on.
I don't think
Perry,
he's playing.
if he gets a turnover, it's going to be because he jumps on the dink and dunk routes on Rice and takes it back for 6. That's what's going to happen because the Chiefs' offense is all dink and dunk. It's all quick throws and yak. I like what you're saying about
They like to do a lot of screens.
If Lenore does get a turnover, it'll be a pick 6. It'll be at the line of scrimmage. He reads it. And,
I will gladly take one of those bullshit illegal contact penalties if Lenore's going to jump routes and try and be physical. I am perfectly okay with that.
Don't be surprised if it's Greenlaw too.
Yeah, and Greenlaw. And I think, one last thing, a very big underrated part of this game is we need to hit the shit out of Mahomes. And I would never in my life speak about injuring people. I think I've seen a lot of people talk on that and it's so fucked up. But what I'm talking is when we play quarterbacks who run the read option, for example, I've always heard a lot of defensive players talk about how don't even worry about the ball, just hit the person who you think has the ball. We need that level of mentality. We need that level of aggressiveness. So we are going to see Mahomes be a free runner a lot. We are going to need our defensive line to force a lot of coverage sacks because I trust our corners. I trust our secondary. But holy shit, you guys, Mahomes is a very effective runner. So when he becomes a runner, he needs to get hit. That starts with guys like Warner. That starts with guys like Dre Greenlaw as well. Just everyone needs to go out there and just lay the damn hammer on the guy. If we can do that and just lay a little bit of fear.
They got to be disciplined in their gaps, bro.
They need to be disciplined. And I'm looking at guys like Bosa, Chase Young, Javon Hargrave. They need to contain and they need to collapse at the same time. But again, if anyone is going to do it now, we are facing the worst offensive line that we have played in the playoffs. They just also happen to be a top 10 offensive line too. But if someone's going to step the fuck up and lay the hammer, it needs to be done. It really does. So, just to summarize.
And their guard is not playing, right? He's out. What's his name?
Yeah. So Joe Thuney is out. I will say, though, Nick Allegretti, their backup guard, is arguably one of the best backup guards in the league. He would be a starter on this team right now. That's how good he is. And also kind of how bad
he has to block. He has to block Hargrave, though. So.
I personally, a lot of people have been talking about Hargrave kind of struggling a little bit and just not seeing him be the guy who we all thought he was when he got signed on. I personally think that hamstring that was bothering him earlier in the season has been bothering him now. I definitely think he has not been playing up to his potential, but these guys have had a couple weeks off to rest. I think we have a great defensive line rotation. Javon Kinlaw has been stepping up like crazy too. So, yeah, I agree. Hargrave, Kinlaw, those guys need to step up, but I mean, the backup guard is still a backup guard at the end of the day. We have to take advantage of that. And it's our time for a defensive line to shine, guys. It really is. It really fucking is.
I want Chase Young to step up, bro. He needs to step on that edge. I gotta see him push the tackle backwards into Mahomes and make Mahomes go up the pocket.
Are we actually going to see a holding call, you guys? Do we?
I hope so, because I mean their tackles are one of the more, at least the guy that was on the Jags before, like he's really well.
The Chiefs real.
Did you say holding?
Yeah.
The Chiefs real X factor.
Yeah, one of them holds 7 times, the other one held 8 times.
Yeah.
Hey, the real X factor for the Chiefs ain't throwing any flags against them. So let's just.
Well, you know that we're getting the same officiating team that we got in '54.
Yeah, that we had last time.
Bill Bennett.
Now,
fucking pain.
Yeah.
Really quick, Perry. Talk your shit, man. Tell us why we're gonna win this game, man. Hold nothing back. Let these Chiefs fans know we ain't fucking around, man.
I was really thinking about how the fuck we scored 20 points in the last Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. I could not believe that. Oh, is this falling on me? Is that what this is? Oh, shit. Okay.
Talk your shit, baby. Damn. Talk your shit.
Okay. So I was reflecting today. I was like, how the fuck did we score 20 points with Jimmy Garoppolo? I thought 20 points was fucking amazing given what we saw from Garoppolo in the entire playoffs. And it's like, holy shit, this is the most limited quarterback we have ever had in the fucking history of this team since Brian fucking Hoyer. So it's like, how do we score 20? The fact that Brock Purdy can deliver the fucking ball anywhere on the field with the most confidence I've ever seen a quarterback in my lifetime play for the Niners. Mind you, I'm 26, right? So I didn't get to see Young, Montana, Garcia. I didn't get to enjoy that. So to see a quarterback do that now is fucking insane. And my last thing, the fact that people think Shanahan and the Niners cannot come the fuck back, bullshit. Total bullshit.
Tell him, bro.
How are you guys going to tell me? Well, not you guys, but how are people going to tell me that the 49ers can't come back when they have the most explosive offense in the entire league? I'm sorry, but we will shit on the 17-point deficit any day. If we go into the halftime down, I will never lose confidence in my team. I believe in Shanahan. I believe in Purdy. But most importantly, I think people are sleeping on Purdy. My hottest fucking take I've had that I've been thinking about, and it's going to be really bold because I have to go very soon, but you guys can talk about this for a second. Brock Purdy becomes our next Montana and will never throw an interception in the Super Bowl for every Super Bowl he's in. I am 100% Purdy, expecting him to play the most cleanest football we have ever seen him play. I believe in this kid. I really do. And Christian Brandon, you guys know especially, I was so reluctant on Purdy because I was a big Lance guy myself. And when we moved Lance, I was like, oh, fuck. But I am fully bought in on Purdy. I fully believe in him being the next coming in Montana. Cleanest game of Super Bowl we'll ever see. And I wouldn't be fucking surprised if we step up and we win this game by 20 at minimum. At fucking minimum. Debo, CMC, Ayuk, Kittle, these guys did not come to fuck around. They have come way too far to get to this point where they're at now just to roll over to the fucking Taylor Swift and Travis fucking Kelce, man. I am so tired of that shit. So they need to step up. I believe in these guys. To drop a prediction now, Niners 35, Chiefs 14. I really firmly believe in that, you guys. I believe in an ass whooping 110%. Guys, I love y'all so fucking much. Peace out. And again, Brock Purdy, fucking Joe Montana 2.0. I believe in it.
All right, thanks, Perry. Appreciate it, man. Enjoy your class.
All right, Perry. Good time in class, brother.
All right.
Hey, man,
Well,
that's the easiest way to end it right there, man. On that.
We're going to end on that.
Take us out.
So we're going to end on that. Thank you, Perry, for joining in last minute and putting your 2 cents. With that being said, we'll see you guys after the Super Bowl. Bang, bang, Niner gang. We're getting this dub, and we're getting number 6, baby.
Let's get that Lombardi.
Go Niners.
Let's go. F the Raiders. Just kidding, bro.